How y'all doing? Once again, this is gssixgun. I'm going to do a little bit more honing. This time we're going to do a very simple honing technique. Progressive honing, starting from one end right to the other with the razor that has no problems. What an amazing concept. I've done quite a few of these, and most of what I've been doing is showing stuff that has problems. There's a nice custom boker with a scallop spine on it, little 5/8 Spanish point. Nice tiger acrylics on there. I'm going to hone this right up, straight through, and I'm going to use the Naniwa Superstone system. First thing I'm going to do is actually put a Naniwa 1K. Put a Naniwa 1K and 3K in the water. Now if I was doing a lineup of razors, like if I had 6 razors sitting there, I would just put the 1K in. But since I'm only doing one razor, and I'm going to go straight through on it, I'm going to do 2 of the Naniwas in. This is just something I started doing when I first got the Naniwa stones. They seem to need to stabilize in water for about 5-10 minutes. So they level out more. You can do it, you can not do it, it's totally up to you. That's just what I found. It seems to do very good for me. On this one I'm going to pull out a King 1K to set the bevel real quick on it. Make sure you get a good bevel set. I leave all my 1K bevel setters sitting in a well of water. And again, in case you didn't see any of the other videos, if you're going to do a well, if you start off with using a gallon of distilled water, or however much you need, and about a cap full of Clorox per gallon, that water will stay good and fresh for a long time. Setting it on the tape, flipping it over, rubbing the spine. Once again, I'll warn you, I leave that hanging down while I rub the spine because 5 stitches on that thumb from slipping underneath by doing this. And I slipped underneath one time. That taught me a lesson. Set it right there. Then usually I just put it on the towel and pull it nice and tight and even. If you're going to use tape, use it nice, tight, and even. Okay? Use the DMT 325 on the King and clean it up. It takes about 5 figure eights to get these clean. And now I do this every time I hone. I always start with a clean hone. I very rarely do grid lapping. I just do 5-10 figure eights right before I start honing, and I'm good. I'll do the same thing on the Naniwas too. Gonna set a bevel. I've already checked this. It's got a little bit of grab, but it's got a little bit of slide too. So it's kind of an in-between razor. It would be a razor that's not shave ready, but still in good shape. I'm going to do 20 or so circles down the hone. This is Lin system, 20 circles to sharp is what I call it. Really just an excellent bevel setting technique. I'm using a little bit of pressure. This razor is very close, so it's not going to take a lot. I said an amazing concept doing a good razor. But I thought I'd show you how a good razor works. Even though I started off using a good razor, I always double check right after I do the circles and look at the razor, catch a light, look at the razor and kind of roll the razor back and forth, watch the light go down the edge so I can actually see where the stone has been doing its job. Now I'm going to do about 20 X strokes mixed with straight down the hone strokes. I usually do in sets of 5. And all I'm doing is really kind of feeling for rough spots. This side is going really good. This side going that way has a little bit of a drag right there in the kind of the middle of the blade. Right from this part of the blade has a tiny bit of drag. So I'm going to kind of push that just a touch as I'm honing to make sure I get that even with the rest of the blade. If you really hone by feel, doing these nice long strokes, you'll feel every single little mistake on there. Or a little edge, part of the edge that's not really doing what the rest of the edge is doing. That's starting to come across now. Get a nice smooth X stroke now. Probably, this razor is probably already set now. You can just sort of hear it pop hair. Not getting exactly what I want right in the center of the blade. If you notice, I'm going to just slide my thumb just a little bit this way. And I'm going to give it a little bit of a push right along the center of the blade. I'm going to slide my finger this way and give it a little bit of push right along the center of the blade. So pull that spot in the blade in to align with the rest of the blade. Keep in mind, 90% of your work happens on your bevel setters. The rest of the stones are rather easy to hone on. Honestly, if you get a good solid bevel set, the rest of honing is pretty easy. Don't overdo it and keep everything straight and you're done. But getting that bevel set evenly is really the important part. Still not quite what I want. It's a boker also, which means these get really, really sharp. If this was, say, like say for instance, I don't want to bust on any type of razor, but say for instance this was a Sheffield half hollow. I wouldn't expect the sharpness as I get out of a boker at this stage of the game. Certain razors actually pop sharp faster and more definite than other razors. Some of your German and American hollows will really pop sharp fast. There we go. Now I'm hearing what I want to hear. Okay, once the bevel is set, pull the tape off. Because that's a lot of work on the tape. I don't even bother looking at it at that point in time. I'm just going to pull it off. Retape it. And we are going to, you always want to retape on the spine, by the way, not the edge, like I just tried to do. Okay, let's get rid of the king. Put it back in the well. And I'm also going to get rid of that stone holder. And we're going to pull out the Naniwa 1K. Now, when I pull that out of the water, I'm going to drop the 5K in. So now I have the 1K here, 3K coming up, and the 5K in the water. Again, if I had a lot of razors to do, it would be one stone. But right now I'm only doing one razor, so I go 2 stones in the water, 1 stone on deck here. This is a Shapton diamond glass lapping plate. Again, I'm going to do about 5 figure eights, some ovals, making sure the plate is clean and level. If you let them soak for a little while, you're going to find that most of the time they're level. And they don't need to soak because they need to get wet. They need to soak because they need to stabilize, I guess. It just seems to work better that way. Now we're going to do basically about 20 strokes per stone. Don't go by numbers though. When I give a number, it's just for reference. I usually work in sets of 5. I'll do 5 straight strokes. I'll do 5x strokes. And what I'm doing is I'm feeling for how smooth that comes down the stone. And if you notice, about every 5 strokes I dilute because I left the slurry from when I cleaned the stone on there. You can do that, you can not do that, it's totally your choice. I think it gives a smoother edge. I don't know if that's for sure. It seems to be that way. Now also, as I progress through these, as I start on each stone, I get lighter on pressure as I progress right through the stone. Okay, and rinse that stone totally. I'm going to do 5 last strokes on this stone. Slight heel forward. I tend to hone slight heel forward all the time, at 20 or 30 degrees. Now right now I'm watching the water as it cuts, as the razor cuts down the stone. I'm watching the water and make sure it's nice and even going down there. There's nothing sliding under the stone is what I'm really looking for. I'm looking for it to push the bubble of water pretty much evenly down the stone. Okay, at this point in time, there's you're really not looking for it to undercut the water. You're looking for it to push it evenly, and the razor will pop hair all the way along. I don't really test that often though. Once I do my initial bevel set test, it tests very rarely. Okay, that is set to the Naniwas now, and I'll continue to work through here.